Hi guys, welcome back to Alta Lifestyles. So we are talking about incubation lockdown and what you should and should not do. So 3 tips, 3 suggestions of my own. Okay, so number 1, on day 18 of your lockdown, what you're going to do is if your incubator has automatic turning system like mine does, the Brincy Ovation 56, you're going to turn it off. And that's because you don't want your motor to keep working while there's nothing to rotate. So you're going to turn it off. You're going to take the eggs out of the little trays that they sit in, and you're going to put I put paper towel. Some people put those like rubber like mats that you get from like Walmart or the dollar store, Dollar Tree. I'm not sure what they're called, but I will put a link in the description about it. Personally, put paper towel on the bottom, and that's just because it's easy to clean and it's pretty inexpensive. Okay, tip number 2 of what you're going to do. So I'm doing chicken eggs, so what you want to do is increase your humidity, and only your humidity, up to about 70%. Keep your temperature what it is, but increase your humidity, and that will help with the final days of incubation from 18 to 21. Tip number 3, this is super important. So lockdown means lockdown. So do not peek, do not rotate the eggs manually. If a baby hatches, leave it in there so the baby chick can stay in the incubator with the other eggs up to 3 days. So I always read and I always hear people say that this little chick or chicks are like being really rough on the eggs, or you know, it's lonely, what should I do? I'm worried about it being hungry. So the good news is because they absorbed everything from the umbilical cord, they can last up to 3 days, like I was saying. And by leaving the babies that have hatched in the incubator, actually encourages the other eggs to hatch, like the other babies to hatch, because they can hear the chicks and they're like, oh my god, I have to go see probably. I don't know what they think. I'm not a chicken whisperer, but definitely leave them in. The other thing is when an egg is pipped, so once my eggs actually get to that stage, I will take some photos and whatnot, but once they actually pip, each time you open the lid to the incubator, whether it's to, you know, grab a chick out or, you know, rotate something, you are actually causing damage to the chick that is trying to hatch. And the reason is when you open it, the membrane that the chick is actually inside the egg actually shrinks, and so basically you end up pretty much vacuum sealing this chick who's trying to get out. So definitely leave them alone, let nature do its thing. A pipped chick can take anywhere from 2 hours to 48 hours to actually break out of their shell. So try your best not to intervene, but definitely keep an eye on it. Intervening with a hatching chick can be deadly for the chick, especially if you're too rough or you cut the umbilical cord that's still attached to the egg because you think that's the best thing. So like I said, definitely let Mother Nature do its course, do its job. Let the chicks hatch on their own. If you do find you have, for example, like, I don't know, 20 chicks and you still have 14 eggs to go that are pipped, but you find they're being a little loud or a little rambunctious, you can put a towel over top of the incubator. Just make sure it's not blocking any vents, and that will help kind of settle them down. So just to recap on those tips, so number 1, you're going to turn off the turning system for the incubator. Number 2, you're going to take the eggs out and just lay them on their sides on the bottom of the incubator. They don't need to be any specific way, but just lay them and then they'll figure themselves out. And then number 3 was to not intervene, leave the lid on, you know, keep yourself from going in the incubator on day 18 of lockdown to day, 21 or 23, depending on how long it takes. I personally do a final candling. And the other thing I just want to comment on, like I said, make sure your humidity is up to 70% at least. And that will actually help hugely with incubation and the chicks actually trying to get out. But during incubation from day 1 to day 18, keep it around like the 37.6 mark, depending on what you are incubating, because each different egg that you do, whether it's duck or chicken or quail or pheasants or anything like that, probably will have different temperatures. So definitely keep an eye on that. Know what kind of eggs you're doing, and then be sure to check out the humidity from day 1 to day 18, and then 18 to hatch day. So another quick little update. My double yolks never survived to lockdown, which again is kind of expected. I wasn't, holding my breath on it, but I'll keep trying, and hopefully one day I can, successfully hatch a double yolk. But that being said, it's always an experiment. I'm always curious. As well, I also should mention that when you have, say, 30 eggs, don't think that all 30 eggs are going to hatch. Sometimes some things go wrong, whether it's, your humidity is off. And when I say your humidity is off, so let's say you have a screen and it says, 70 degrees, or sorry, 70% humidity, but the actual inside, say, is at like 42. So I always recommend, no matter what incubator you have, is do a test trial and toss in like a simple humidity gauge just to see how much they read separate from each other. And same with a temperature gauge, just to see if any calibration needs to be done or if there's a bigger issue at hand. So after all of these eggs hatch, I do think I have probably about 30 chicks to hatch, roughly. So after that, I will do a video on how to clean an incubator, because that's another key important thing for maintaining your incubator and making sure it stays operating good throughout the years to come. So I appreciate everybody watching, and if you have any questions, comments, or anything, please comment below and I'll be happy to get back to you. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.